Hey guys, it's Hannah and welcome back to the Dyslexic Reader. Now today I'm doing something a little bit different. We're not really talking about books and we're now more talking about me. I was tagged in the 50 questions about you tag. I was tagged by Alma over at Alma Loves Books. I love her and I love her channel, so I'll link her down below and you should definitely check her out. I haven't made videos for over a week now, and that's because I was sick and I still feel a little bit sick, but I wanted to get back into my regular posting schedule. So this is just going to be an unedited tag. I've got all the questions on my computer screen and I'm just going to flick through them and answer them. I haven't pre-thought of any answers or really looked at them. I'm just going to go through them and say the first thing that pops into my head. So we're starting with question 1, which is, what is your favourite candle scent? Now, typically I like fruity smells or like woody, like nature, earthy smells, as opposed to like light, clean smells. But this candle's my favourite. It's Glade and it's called Honey and Chocolate, and it doesn't smell like honey and it doesn't smell like chocolate, but it smells super sweet and delicious. And those are kind of smells I don't go for. I don't go for clean or sweet smells. I like more like earthy or fruity smells. But this candle is so good. Question 2. What female celebrity do you wish was your sister? Well, I don't have a sister and I'm not sure I would want a sister. A female celebrity? Maybe like an older sister that I think could teach me important things. Or do I just want someone who's rich and will loan me money? That's the question. I think I would go with Oprah Winfrey. Why not? Big sister, loads of money and loads of wisdom. I think I could benefit from that a lot. Question 3. What male celebrity do you wish was your brother? Well, I love my brother to bits and I would not swap him out for anybody. But oh, I love John Barrowman. Oh, what a sweetheart. He was the first like male celebrity that popped into my head. What a lovely man. I would pick him to be my brother. Again, I think he's just wise and grounded and just a dead-on guy. Question 4. How old do you think you'll be when you get married? I have no idea. At the minute, I have no intention of getting married ever. That may change. But right now, me and my boyfriend are happy and I don't see how a marriage is going to benefit us in any way, and it's just going to cost a lot of money. So at the minute I'm not going to get married, but that may change in the future. Question 5. Do you know someone who is a hoarder? Well, my boyfriend would tell you I'm a hoarder. He has to force me to throw things out sometimes. If a mug has a crack in it, I'll still be like, but I like this mug. Such and such bought it for me for my birthday like 40 years ago. But he keeps tabs on me so I don't get too out of hand. No, I don't think I really know anyone who's a real hoarder. I know people like me who are more inclined to like things about them, but I wouldn't say I know a hoarder. Question 6. Can you do the splits? No, I can't do the splits. Who the hell can do the splits? My god, if you can do the splits, let me know in the comments below. That is some impressive stuff. If you're not a child, if you're an adult that can do the splits, prop to you. How old were you when you learned to ride a bike? I can't remember if it was 21 or 22, but it was in adulthood. I got a bike, I believe, when I was like 8, and could never ride it. My coordination is 0 to none. I cannot even walk up a flight of stairs without tripping, so I never mastered the bike. I bought myself a bike as an adult, and some friends took me to the park, and I'm okay at it, but it's never going to be an extreme hobby of mine. How many oceans have you swam in? I can't swim, but like paddled, I have probably been in 2 or 3. I don't really know. Not many. Not many. How many countries have you visited? Well, I'm in Northern Ireland. The south of Ireland's technically a different country. I have been to Scotland, I have been to England, I have been to Iceland, and I've been to America. So including the country I live in, 6. But they're all kind of close. Is anyone in your family in the army? I have cousins who live in Norway, and they have like automatic conscription. Like, you don't get to choose if you're 18 and you're fit and healthy, and unless obviously there's outstanding circumstances, you have to do a set amount of time in the army. And my cousin done a set amount of time in their equivalent of their Air Force. I don't know what they call their Air Force, but yeah, so he was in the Air Force, and he was in some dodgy situations. He was in Iraq and stuff, but his time's up now, so he's out of it. What would you name your daughter if you had one? And then what would you name your son if you had one? I have no idea for the daughter. For the son, I always loved the name Samuel. It was always a name I really liked, but my family has a tradition of that the son gets the middle name of the dad, and then the next generation it becomes, so it goes middle name, first name, first name throughout the generations, rather than having like juniors. But obviously that doesn't come through me because I'm a girl. But I would like to start that tradition. I think it's really nice, but it turns out my boyfriend's middle name is Samuel, so that's high up there on the list, but I couldn't say. I have no idea. I can't say I've ever really thought about it. What's the worst grade you've got in the test? Well, if you watch my like dyslexia story video, when my mum tried to tell the school that she thought there was something off, they wouldn't listen to her because I wasn't failing academically. But they sprung a surprise reading test, or like a spelling test. So normally in school you'd be saying, okay, these are our spellings for the week, learn them and then we'll test you. But this was just like a random, out of the blue, right, sit down, you're doing a spelling test. And it was 100 words, and I think I spelled like 13 right. So like 13% is pretty bad. I'm not sure what grade that would be, but that is probably my worst ever. Number 14, we're getting through these rightly. What was your favourite TV show as a kid? I always loved The Simpsons. We always watched The Simpsons, inappropriate or not, from I was very little. I was a hardcore Barney fan. I was into Barney, like we're talking like infant child. Barney was it. And as I got older, I can't say that there was much TV that stands out to me. I would have just put the TV on, whatever was on. I'd have watched it. Like, I didn't necessarily follow anything. I was big into Heartbeat as a child, which for those who don't know was a UK. I don't think it's still going on. I think it ended a number of years ago. It was like a drama that kind of followed a small town in Yorkshire during the 1960s. And there was a spin-off of it called The Royal, which was like the local hospital, and the characters kind of overlapped a bit, and they would have shown like The Royal for 6 weeks on a Sunday night, and then they just shown like the Heartbeat on 6 weeks for a Sunday night, and I always loved watching those, but it wasn't really a kid's show. Number 15, what did you dress up as on Halloween when you were 8? It is a lot more popular now, but when I was a child, Halloween is not a thing. It's not a thing in Northern Ireland. It's not really celebrated. Kids don't trick or treat. People might have parties, but that's only really a recent thing, that you would maybe have a Halloween party and people would go fancy dress, but it's not really a thing, so I'm sure I didn't dress up at anything when I was 8 on Halloween. Have you read any of the Harry Potter, Hunger Games, or Twilight series? I have read Harry Potter several times. I have never read The Hunger Games or Twilight, and as of right now, I don't really want to. Would you rather have an American accent or a British accent? Well, I guess technically I do have a British accent, but I don't think I would like American accent. I'm dead on with what I have. Question 18, did your mother go to university? No, she did not. Number 19, are your grandparents still married? Well, my grandparents on my mother's side were married until death. My grandpa passed away last year. And my grandparents on my dad's side got a divorce when I was very little, but my grandpa remarried when I was 7, and he was married to his second wife right up until his death. Have you ever taken a karate lesson? No. Like all these like splits questions, like you do not understand how uncoordinated I am. Like I literally cannot get up a flight of stairs. 21. Do you know who Kermit the Frog is? Who doesn't know who Kermit the Frog is? Has someone been living under a rock for 30 years? Yeah, I know who Kermit the Frog is. Question 22. What is the first amusement park you've been to? Does Barry's count? Does anyone know what Barry's is? Barry's is like the Northern Irish theme park. It's an amusement, really. There is a roller coaster at it, but like it's tiny. It's nothing. Like it's like a 20-second loop, and that's about it. So it would have been the first if it count. If not, Disney World would have been the first one that I went to. Let's see, where are we on this list? Number 23. What language besides your native language would you like to be fluent in? I have been over the years slowly teaching myself a little bit of Latin. I just find it super interesting, and I find kind of knowing a bit of a base for our language helps me in general with English. But if I was going to be fluent in something, it would probably be Mandarin, because I see that becoming a much larger language in the future, and it could be quite an important skill. Do you spell it grey with an E or grey with an A? I spell it with an E. 25. Is your father bald? No. His hair is thinning, but he's not bald. 26. Do you know triplets? I knew a triplet. There was a girl who went to my secondary school who was a triplet, but the other 2 triplets didn't go to our school, so I didn't know all 3 of them, but I didn't know a girl who was a triplet. Number 27. Do you prefer Titanic or Notebook? I have never seen either. I have seen parts of Titanic, but not in full, and I have no idea really what the Notebook's about, apart from it's a romance, I think. 28. Have you ever had Indian food? Yes, don't like it as much as Chinese food. 29. What's the name of your favourite restaurant? That's a hard one. We have this, it's called the Crawfordsburn Inn, which is in a town called Crawfordsburn, kind of not really near where I live, but kind of near. But that's where my parents were married, and we go there for, you know, if there's graduations, big birthdays, celebrations, exam results, all that kind of thing. We try to go there. It's just a family tradition, and I really like it there because of all the memories it has, so I guess that would be up there. Have you ever been to Nando's? I have been twice, maybe once when I was like 16, and then once about 5 or 6 years ago, and I can't say I was overly impressed with either times. I think the portions are small, and I think it's too dear for what it is. 31. Do you belong to any warehouse stores? In Northern Ireland we only have one, and you cannot join it unless you're a business owner, so no, I am not. 32. What would your parents have named you if you were the opposite gender? If I was a boy, I would have been called Jonah, but then my brother that came after me was called Jonah, so it all worked out okay in the end. If you had a nickname, what was it? I don't believe I got like Han or Hanny for like Hannah, but I don't think I had like a designated nickname that wasn't like a derivative of my name. 34. Who's your favourite person in the world? If I could do 2, if I could tie between my boyfriend and my brother, they would be my favourite people in the world, but I think it would have to be a tie. 25. Would you rather live in the countryside or the city? I currently live in the city now, and that's where I want to be. I like the countryside too. My parents live in the countryside and I like it. But at the minute I've chose city for a lot of reasons. It suits me, so I'm in the city right now and that's where I want to be, but I'm not adverse to living in the countryside. 36. Can you whistle? Yes, I can. 37. Do you sleep with a nightlight? No, I like it to be completely dark. I was more picky about that when I was a small child. Like my parents had to buy me blackout blinds and everything. I'm not as bad now, but I still like it to be as dark as possible. 38. Do you eat breakfast every morning? Fun fact, I cannot eat breakfast, and Alma said the exact same thing, and I was a bit shocked because I've never heard of anyone having this before. If I eat in the morning, I will be physically sick. It has been like that since I reckon I was about 12 or 13. Like I will physically throw up my breakfast if I eat it. I have to be up for at least 3 or 4 hours before my stomach can take anything. I can have like tea or a drink, but I'll not be able to take food for at least being up for a couple of hours. Do you take pills or medication every day? I do take medications, but not on a daily basis. What medical condition do you have? I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on here before. I have onset psoriatic arthritis, so it's different to rheumatoid arthritis, the way it affects you and different things. But that can affect me some badly. Some days my fingers all swell up, or some days, my knees get really sore or whatever. So yeah, I have that. How many times have you been to hospital? If we're talking like overnight stays, I've been to the emergency department many, many times. But if we're talking overnight stays, I'm going to have to say, not including my birth, twice. Once to get my tonsils removed when I was only 2, and then a couple of years ago I took a bleed in the brain and was in hospital for that for a couple of days. But apart from that, it's only ever been like trips, as I said, to like the emergency room, just small things. Have you ever seen Finding Nemo? Many, many times. Where do you buy your jeans? Wherever has a sale on. What was the last compliment you got? Peter said I was the best girlfriend ever last night when I let him buy 2 tubs instead of 1 tub of ice cream when we were grocery shopping. That's about as good as the compliments get round here. Do you usually remember your dreams in the morning? Yeah, I'm a lucid dreamer, have been from a child. I can completely control my dreams and remember them all in completely vivid detail. I dream every single night, and I also am really prone to horrible, horrible nightmares. Oh, we're almost there. Only a couple more questions left. 46. What flavour of tea do you enjoy? Regular old black English breakfast tea. I'm not even brand loyal. It just gotta be straw. 47. How many pairs of shoes do you currently own? I couldn't count. I have so many, but I don't wear many. I have probably about 5 pairs under my stairs, and that's where I wear them from. But I have like a whole box of shoes in the attic, which are like fancy shoes or like specific shoes. But my feet have literally not grown since I was 12, so all the shoes I owned from I was 12 all still fit me. So I've heels and stuff, but they're hardly ever worn, so they're in a box in the attic. I just know what's there and I can retrieve them. But out of like the shoes that I keep in the open and wear regularly, probably 5. What religion would you raise your child to practice? Well, I'm a Christian, and I don't think it would be possible to have a child in the house and obviously not to have that as some influence, but I would try my hardest not to pigeonhole the child. I would be telling them about other religions, teaching them about other religions, when they get old enough, letting them make the choice by themselves. But me as a Christian, I don't think I could have a child in the house, and obviously that's going to get a focus, me going to church and stuff, but I'm not sure I would raise a child Christian. I would teach them about different religions if that wasn't being done in the school, and hope that they would make their mind up when they got old enough to do so. 49. How old were you when you found out Santa wasn't real? I think I started to catch on when I was maybe about 7. I don't think I maybe had confirmation and was like fully disconnected until I was maybe 10 or so. But I would reckon I was about 7 when I started clicking on. And the last question, why do you have a blog, or in this case a YouTube channel? I have this YouTube channel because, as you all know if you've seen any of my videos, that I cannot shut up about books. And people in my real life started to get really frustrated by me talking about books, so I found another outlet for that. This has been a really, really long video. Thank you, Alma, for tagging me. It's been around for a while, so I don't know who has and who hasn't done it, but consider yourself tagged if you haven't done it yet and want to, whether you have a blog or a YouTube channel, whatever. I hope you're all happy, I hope you're all healthy, and hopefully I'll see you in my another video. Goodbye.